Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Yo, 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 yo.
Welcome back to Golden
This is
Cast
episode number. I
70.
don't know what episode number it is. It's in the 80s. 88?
88. 88.
Is this
Crazy 88.
88? That's good. 88, man.
The crazy 88. They're not really 88. They just call themselves like that because it sounded cool.
So, today we don't have any sense of direction. I'm officially on break, so that's cool. And, we thought we'd kick this summer off with the Free For All podcast.
I mean, summer's always been
And,
here, so
Yeah,
here's our summer free for all, I guess.
yeah.
Really think
Just
about
talk
it.
about some random stuff over here, you know?
Yep.
I
Just
got the Soprano shirt on.
no.
I think that show really stuck on me.
Did it? I think that show
I
really
started
stuck
to
on
just
you.
say things all the time like them.
God.
Fucking get out of here.
Gangsters. You know what's a good gangster? I started watching The Offer from Paramount Plus, which is like the true story of like the making of
The
The
Godfather.
Godfather, and they
Yeah.
have some gangsters in there. That show's cool.
That's dope.
Yeah, it's
We'll
really
talk
cool.
about some shows right now. I think
Yep,
there's
yep.
a lot of good shows out right now. And I don't know. I think we might go in that direction, is possibly talking about all the different shows that are being released currently right
There's a
now.
lot. It's like
Maybe
overwhelming.
hinting on a future episode that we want to do, that I actually just got requested by one of our guests, reoccurring guest. He wants to hop on and make sure that he does this one with us, because we held out on Boba Fett with my older brother Javi. So
Yeah.
he's like, he wants to hop in and do one for Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Does he? Oh, okay.
Yes.
We'll be in the talks for that. There's a lot of
Yep.
talk. There's a lot to talk about in that show, so it's gonna be cool.
So before we get into anything else, let's get into some bees.
Bees. What you got?
So this is the one that I got. It's called Chavez Ravine.
What?
Looks like a ballpark.
Yeah,
Something.
it does look like a ravine. It looks like a.
Let's see what it says here.
Is it supposed to be
Says
like an
Boomtown
ancient city?
Brewery.
It looks like an ancient city of some
It's a
sort.
hazy IPA. Looks like there's a ballpark.
That looks familiar though. I think I might have seen it.
Yeah. And I'm trying to look for a percentage on here. It's a 6.5, it looks like. So yeah,
Right.
here we go.
Right.
LaSonicusa.com. That's the artist, is Paul Nguyen Art. Cool. I'm cracking it.
Cool.
Ooh. Crackly.
So I got Rogue's Dreamland. Trying to like.
Oh, what's that?
So it's super crazy. It's like a super dream, like freaking concept of a graphics on the can, which is
That's
very
pretty
similar.
cool.
Yeah, which is pretty similar to the background that I have right here.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is a lager, so I wanted to change it up a little bit. Just try something crisp, fresh. It's a summer, so I wanted to try something that's like pretty good and crispy. Just like
I
all
was
their
actually
beers.
gonna do like a German style beer that was like a similar bottle shape to the Superior. It's
Mhm.
called Duvel or something like that.
Duvel.
I've never tried it before, but I saw this one and I was like, you know what? I like the can. It's cool.
Yeah,
It's got some cool art on it.
That's a good one.
And it's different from Boomtown. I haven't seen this one from Boomtown before, and they always bring the heaters.
Yeah. Do you have anything
Yeah.
to read on your end? Or is it?
Nah, let me see if I could look up something though real quick. I think there might be something.
All right.
What about yours?
Mine says, right on top, it says Dare, Risk, Dream. And it's kind of like in the Jurassic Park fonts, which makes sense because that's basically what Jurassic Park was. except it doesn't say die. We're getting eaten by dinosaurs. But there is a description. It says, "This beer was born from a dream to renovate our hometown
Hmm.
skate park in Newport, Oregon.
Hmm.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be California. To give our community a safe and clean place to skate. The incredible people at Dreamland skate parks help make our dream a reality, and with them, we helped others realize theirs. So we brewed Dreamland American Lager, a simple, crisp lager from which portions of the proceeds will go towards building skate parks around the world. Welcome to Dream World. I mean land. I fucked that up.
So that's tight. It's like
Yeah,
it actually is going towards something now.
yeah, it's a good cause beer. Here's just
Okay, so
because
this is interesting. I just looked up Chavez Ravine,
let's say,
and this is the history that I got it on it. Okay, so it says this is ZINNED project.org. It says Chavez Ravine. This is actually a film on Amazon Prime about this, a short 30-minute documentary about the politics and economics of land of where the Chavez Ravine is. So check this out. During the early 1950s, the city of Los Angeles forcefully evicted the 300 families of Chavez Ravine to make way for a low-income public housing project.
yeah,
The land was cleared and the homes, schools, and the church were razed, but instead of building the promised housing, the city, in a move for rife with political controversy, sold the land to Brooklyn Dodgers baseball owner Walter O'Malley, who built Dodger stadiums on the site.
oh shit,
The residents of Chavez Ravine, who had been promised first pick of the apartments in the proposed housing project, were given no reimbursement for the destroyed property and forced to scramble for housing elsewhere. That's
yeah,
fucked up.
it
In
is.
1949, photographer Don Normark visited Chavez Ravine, a close knit Mexican American village on a hill overlooking downtown LA. Enchanted, he stayed for a year and took hundreds of photographs documenting community life. But little did Mark know what he was capturing, the last images of a place that was about to disappear. Within a few short years, the entire neighborhood would be gone.
Oh shit. Well, that was pretty dark.
Yeah, and it says here Chavez Ravine, an LA story, tells the story of how this Mexican American community was destroyed by greed, political hypocrisy, and good intentions gone awry. Damn. So
Yeah,
it's narrated by Cheech.
is it?
Yeah.
Must be important. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, man.
Yeah,
It was looked at like a vacant shanty town, an eyesore, and all kinds of stuff. But here is a film clip. Let me see if I can get some audio on this.
right.
Dreamed that all those fields had been leveled, the houses torn down. I saw it in my dream. And exactly the way I saw it, that's the way it happened. This is a tragedy of my life. Absolutely. I was responsible for uprooting, I don't know how many hundreds of people from their own little valley and having the whole thing destroyed.
It's sort of taken on a mythical sense in people's memories, and then with the feeling that it was unfairly taken from them. So it's no wonder that people have strong feelings about it.
He said, please,
Damn, all the
your
photos are
sons
like in
and
black
the
and white.
baseball team.
Damn.
Let's go to the Dodgers as a family. I'll never go again. I hated it. I didn't enjoy it. It was like dancing on a grave.
Hold on, I'll be back.
Damn. So there's a certain number of people that like hate Dodger
Yeah,
Stadium
just for that reason. So
because that's where their home used to be.
shit.
And if you see the can,
I'll be
like the
back, bro.
can art on it, you could see the ravine is kind of like it looks almost like suburban, like these areas, you know? And then you see like this Dodger Stadium right here, and then the city right here in the background, right here, and then like many like roads and stuff leading up to it. But you could tell like this is probably how it looked when they were leveling it out, you know? these are probably like all the construction roads and stuff leading up to where they built, the stadium and stuff, which is trip. You can see skyline right here in the back too.
Shit.
It's dope artwork.
Yeah.
Really thoughtful beer,
Yeah. Same.
calling attention to real history.
Yeah. I guess we both got like very thoughtful beers. One was for like a cause. The other one was like for an important part of
Yeah.
history that it doesn't get acknowledged enough.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah.
It's about the history here. Speaking of history,
Well, cheers to that.
cheers to that. Let's try these beers out finally, huh?
Think far.
Cheers. We need to have a clink, dink, on our
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting.
on our soundboard.
I keep forgetting.
What do you got?
It's just like it has like the crispiness of a Budweiser, but it doesn't have like that same taste at the end, at the aftertaste. But I feel it like in the front. It's just like a little bit of like Budweiser in there, and then it's just like a little bit of bitterness at the end, a little more maltiness, if anything.
So this hazy, I could actually see through. I mean, it's hazy, but you could actually see
know.
some light through it,
Yeah,
and you could see that it's there. I mean,
Mine is
it's
really
kind of
light.
light, actually. It's a lighter hazy. It's a lighter than I thought it would be. Really citrusy. Well, not. I don't want to say really citrusy. It's not overpoweringly citrusy, but definitely like more on the blonde side
right.
than on the hazy side, which is interesting for a hazy.
Yeah. This is one of
That's
the
just bomb.
this is one of the lighter hazies.
Yeah,
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah, mine
I
is
like
definitely
that.
light.
That's a good one.
Mine is definitely light. I'm gonna start with the light one. 'Cause I don't
Yeah.
know. I feel full right now. So like, it's cool.
So-
Get through it.
Let me see here.
Oh man, it's so fucking hot. Did you
Yeah, I
hear?
know it's getting hotter now.
It's getting fucking weird ass weather. Did you hear the thunderstorms?
Yeah, man, it's like getting like earthquake weather out here in
Yeah,
California. It's like
it's fucking weird,
literally at 4 a.m, fucking lightning strikes. It
bro.
sounds like a bomb.
Yeah, that morning I just kept hearing that shit, and then like in my mind, I just thought like, I wonder if anyone's gonna get hit, or is this a possibility if someone's gonna get hit. And the next thing you know, like I think my mom tells me like some lady was walking her dog in the
Yeah.
morning and she got fucking hit. It was in El Monte. I was like, fuck, I was not far away. It was like, oh goddamn, like, you know, just nature itself, just
Dude, and I mean, like, that's the rarity of getting struck by lightning. It's literally saying, like, oh my God, like, that's like being struck by lightning. That's so rare. It's like, there isn't really a rhyme or reason,
yeah,
It's just fucking the weather out in Cali during this time is so weird for some reason.
yeah. It's global warming that's going on. It's our Earth.
Yeah, it's some
planets.
bad shit, people. Let me tell you.
Yeah, you don't know how bad it is until like you actually know how bad it is. There's a lot of methane is being released into the atmosphere, like by many resources. It's just not like fucking car. It's not like cars like releasing gas and then that's the methane that's going up. It's also like thousands of years of fossilized like containments of it, and it's also like it being heated like by because obviously like our ice caps are like they're melting, but also like during that melt there's also like release of like methane that's trapped in the earth or in the ice, and that's releasing that shit. So it's just like adding more. It's like, oh fuck. So
I just know that shit was
I just
fucking loud.
that's just like fucking. We probably have like I don't know 100 years unless we all like simultaneously just like stop using, well, not stop using, but use less like gas or like eco-friendly like gases and stuff like
Yeah, we're ready to move on to the next plan. I think all the
Yeah.
billionaires have decided.
I think
as
that's
soon
what
as we're
everyone's trying to
done,
do. It's like, yeah, we're trying to
let's
build
just buy a
rockets out here
spaceship.
and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fuck. That's just fucking crazy. Just thinking about like um just like fucking building spaceships and just like colonies out there. One of the things
So
I heard is just about like sci-fi in general is, well, sci-fi movies in general is basically they're eventually gonna get expired or outdated because they're pretty much predicting
They're
like
actually
the
gonna come
future.
into fruition.
Yeah, in some way or another. It's not like 100% accurate, but it's like,
Yeah,
oh, it's right on the mark, but
pretty
it's pretty
similar.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like so weird.
So check this out. Last time I went to get a drink, I got one of the LA beer papers,
Yeah.
and they had the LA IPA Fest. This is the June 2022 episode.
Ooh.
And then RIP RIIP Brewing Company, Green Cheek, and Beechwood hop to the top of LA IPA Fest.
Mhm.
All right. So in third place, we got Beechwood Brewing Co. Julian Trago. I wonder what kind of beer it was. I'm gonna find it right here. It says Disciples of Dankness was third place at the LA IPA Fest, and that one was by Beechwood Brewing Co. Silver was Ain't Getting Any Deader by Green Cheek Beer Co. I guess that's a IPA. And then the gold, the first place was RIP RIIP Beer Co. San Diego, I believe, and it's called Dankster Squad.
It's all with the danks, man.
The Dankster Squad. That's pretty dope.
Gonna combine that. They're gonna make a variety pack of like dank, and then they're gonna call it the Dank Squad.
Look, 3 times previously as head brewer at Noble Ale Works. So, the LA IPA Fest winners roster having placed among the top 3 twice before with Green Cheek, and 3 times previously as head brewer at Noble Ale Works. So they were, remember when they were winning a lot of the competitions like in the years prior, that was him.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Damn. So it seems like these brewers like are look, and look, brewer Colin Busbis was formerly the brewer at Modern Times, and that was the People's Choice Award. Wow, this is freaking dope. I haven't really read through this, but it's pretty awesome that they do these events. We should probably cover one.
Yeah. Probably should. Probably should.
Dude, there's so many different places.
Yeah.
Queen's Day, Yorkshire Square, to toast the Platinum Jubilee. British expat craft beer fans in SoCal who are envious of the 4-day bank holiday weekend at the beginning of June that their countrymen and women are celebrating back in the homeland in honor of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II's Platinum Jubilee, 70 years as the reigning British monarch, can take solace. Yorkshire Square Brewing owner Gary Croft has got his fellow stateside Brits covered. The Cask Forward British Brew Pub in Torrance is throwing a day-long Platinum Jubilee party for all Saturday, June 4th. Jubilees don't happen all that often, and a Platinum Jubilee is something we've got to see. We're not going to see again in our lifetimes, explained Croft, clearly excited about this milestone. There's been a few Jubilees, 25 years, 50 years, but never one for 70 years. And this is the oldest one for British monarch. Most people think Queen Victoria resigned that long, but she's only lasted 63 years and 7 months during most of the 1800s. Damn.
Ah,
So I guess that Jubilee is like a time for them all to like drink heavily.
wait. Yeah, I was about to ask, what the hell's the Jubilee?
Yeah. Beer is great example of keeping our roots in British traditions and making authentic English beer, but also acknowledging that there's history there and a lot of crossover history. Like in this case, the dances coming and raiding. Oh, the Danes coming and raiding. It's more like celebrating the English influence on beer throughout the world. Mike elaborates. You want to be able to keep those traditions, but you also have to understand the full magnitude of its influence everywhere and celebrate it. And then this guy interjects one of the other breweries. Honestly, that's kind of our philosophy. We call this place our modern British brewery, which encompasses all of this, all these adjacent influences. And this is Yorkshire Square right here in Torrance. We gotta check that one out. That's
Holy
pretty cool.
shit.
Authentic British beer, and they're like just some white people, and they got a cutout of the Queen. That's hilarious.
Really?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah,
all right.
man. The beer paper. Hell yeah.
The beer
Always
paper.
on some cool shit.
Fucking A, man.
Drink local, baby. Beer paper LA.
Be local. So
Wish they had a Long Beach one, but there's
yeah.
only so many breweries here.
So right now, this is me personally. I'm gonna be moving to San Francisco. It's like pretty exciting.
Woo!
You kind of cut off for a minute. You were too loud. And yeah, I have a friend out there that like recommended me places to go and stuff. And then I heard that they were barely gonna build like an Alamo Draft House. And if you guys don't know what that is, it's actually a theater that sells like draft or yeah, pretty much like draft beers. And it's a local cinema chain. I think it got started in
Are we
I
gonna
want to
go
say
there?
yeah. I think I think it got started by Robert Rodriguez or someone.
Hmm.
But it's a popular
Are we gonna
chain.
go there? Is my question.
Yeah, we are gonna go there. We're just
All
definitely gonna go there.
right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's brought to you by nonsense and more
Brought to you
nonsense.
by.
But yeah, that's cool. Like just I mean, I like it. I like how like theaters are now where you could just serve alcohol and beer, you know?
Yes, that's how it is in Europe, and that's what they should do over here. But there's too many people with guns here, so you can't have like people are trigger happy in America.
To
I
trigger
acknowledge
happy.
this.
Yeah, that is true. That's one of our
Maybe they
flaws.
should just chill out and drink a beer. You know what I'm saying?
He's need to
Cheers
chill
to
out and
that.
stuff. Yeah. Cheers to that. Mm.
So, the next portion of our show, what you watching?
What have I been watching? Like I said earlier, I was watching The Offer. I'm still not done with it, but I'm gonna be done with it. But it's pretty fascinating to see like um the making of like The Godfather and all the players that came into it. And
Yeah,
I did cover this in the Godfather episode, but there was like a lot of interesting background story on that like whole production. And there's some things that happened that I did mention, and there's some things that I didn't know that happened. Like Mario Puzo, the author of like The Godfather, uh, he has a character that's like very similar to like Frank Sinatra, who's like connected to the mob, and he's like this
yeah.
bigger than life like players, singer, and entertainer. And there, this is actually true. Like he actually got into a confrontation with Sinatra, like coming up to him, and they got into it, and they showed it on the show, and I was like, oh shit, like fuck.
He had a
And
competition with Sinatra. What? Just like showing off
no,
or what?
no, look, you're not even listening. Your ADD's acting up. He has a character that's based on Sinatra. Sinatra didn't
What do you
like it
got
because he
about
read the
people with
book.
ADD? Huh? Hater.
I am a hater because you don't pay attention.
I am
Because
paying
I'm,
attention. You're not explaining it right.
yeah, yeah,
So
I'm
you're
explaining
telling
it
me
right.
that they got into it. They got
Yeah,
into a fight because of what though?
the book. I literally said
Oh,
like,
because of the book.
yeah,
Oh.
I literally said he's the author of The Godfather, and he has a character that's based on Sinatra. Sinatra was like a
Yeah.
bigger than life that was connected to the mob, and you know
So
he
Sinatra
read
knew of
that,
this
and then
book.
Sinatra was mad about him about that
Why?
because he didn't want to be connected. He didn't want to be seen in that light.
Yeah, but you know what? He picked and chose his friends, you know? And they were all fucking mobsters. So what do you think? You know?
I mean, it's very different. I think that was the whole point of the show, just like to demonstrate, or illustrate like Italian Americans and like the right side of like life, because they didn't want to be seen like this, because they were all like criticized like being like this like criminals and immigrants that are making trouble and shit. And they thought like The Godfather was gonna be like that movie too, that was gonna paint them in the wrong light, you know. And I mean, along those storyline, like they kind of like deal with it, and like they compromise and stuff, and that's how the movie got made. But there's also like drama in the mafia during the 70s while this movie was going on. And it's just like more, it's pretty interesting too, because it's not just like a movie about a movie, it's also like a gangster movie as well.
Yeah.
You know, so I
Yeah. So it's gangster. It's like Inception. It's a gangster film
it's
within a
a gangster
gangster.
film exactly. So it's pretty interesting
Huh.
to see that.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely like that. The main guy that's in it, Al Ruddy, who was sorry, who's based um who basically it's based around his accounts of that story. And he started off like as a computer whiz guy, and he just wanted to get into the movies because I think he saw Planet of the Apes, and then he saw the ending, and then he said like, you know what I want? I want this experience. You know how everyone got like surprised by that ending, all in reaction. That's what I want. You can't do that in TV. Well, now you can, but and I like how he has he's very savvy in knowing his people, and he's that's very good for business because he knows like, okay, well, Mario Puzo he can't write, so I'm gonna add Francis Ford Coppola into the mix, and he's gonna help write film. And then all in the meanwhile, he's also like in conversation with like the heads of like Paramounts and saying like, okay, we got to make this movie, and he pitches to them in a very I want to say accurate, but in the most interesting, intriguing way. Like this isn't a mafia movie. This is a movie about family, things that we're all familiar with, and just throwing that idea. And
Hmm.
basically, like he knows how to talk, and he impresses like the producers, and he pretty much like it gets it his way sometimes. But it's also like the story of him struggling to get this fucking movie made. So it's like it's a disaster. But yeah, it's a good show. Really, it's like 10
That's pretty dope.
episodes. Yeah, I
I
seen it.
started. Well, I just finished Obi-Wan
You barely started.
yesterday.
You barely started.
No, I just finished it yesterday. I
Oh,
think
I finished
yesterday
it.
was the last
Yeah, I
episode.
finished it this morning actually. What you
I
think?
finished it yesterday. I stayed up and I was watching all of them through it, and then I knew this week was the last episode, so I was just like,
Yeah,
I'm just gonna binge it and then just watch the last episode when it comes out.
right.
And I finished it, and it did not disappoint. It was really sick. Like I gotta admit, the beginning it was off to a rocky start.
Yeah, I
You
was.
know, I didn't really believe the Leia actress or the actor that was playing Leia.
Hmm?
I don't know. It was just kind of a little weird. I think they could have got someone a little bit better. I think it would have been dope if they
Is it
got the
the
girl from
look?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh my god.
I think she would have been better,
Oh,
but I mean, she was still really, really young, so
yeah.
it's fine actors I think that are that young that are willing to play such a pivotal role.
Keep it a distance on your mic because I could hear you.
Yeah. So it was pretty dope. I like the ending. I like all the fight scenes with Vader and Obi-Wan and just basically everyone, dude. Like they show um a lot of him fighting and like him using his powers and the Force and shit like that, which is really dope.
Yeah. They
And yeah, man, I think it just ramped up towards the end. New characters were made, some practical effects in there. I think all the lightsabers might have been practical effects after they like retracted and went forward. I
yeah.
think it's actually practical effects that they're using the lightsabers with. So I think it's dope that they're mixing that up in there. More virtual production stuff, which I'm always excited to see. But all in all, dude, like I know there's things in this series that I missed. I want to rewatch them, but it's dope to see whatchamacallit, the dude that plays Anakin, Christian
Yeah.
Haydenson
Christian
or something.
Haydenson. Yeah. Who's way
Yeah,
better.
so it was dope to see him again and
Yeah.
reprise the role as Anakin and kind of see his transition into him turning into Vader and stuff like that. And the man behind the mask, no pun intended if you've seen it, but it's dope.
Yeah,
It's pretty sick.
definitely a lot of good highlights in that show, and there's certain things that didn't. There's some things that I found like disappointing, but others didn't. But
Mhm.
I'll talk about that like we talk
Yeah,
about
we're
that.
we're eventually gonna
Yeah,
do
we're gonna eventually do
one
that.
specifically for Obi-Wan, I think, because that
Probably
was a
like
really
next
dope
week.
show. And then the other show that I was kind of watching aside of my eye was Umbrella Academy, the new season.
Yeah, I still haven't
So
started watching that.
yeah, so the new season came out and it's now the new character's name is Victor, and um Elliot Page now plays Victor.
Okay.
So they changed the character within the show as well, and they're kind of opening, the doors for more transgender actors to feel comfortable with playing new roles while keeping the identity that they prefer.
Yeah, as they should.
So that's a pretty big eye opener. That's happening.
Yeah, I definitely heard that too. He wasn't gonna change his character at all because it was
Yeah,
gonna be like, oh, it's still gonna be the same character. I think they just changed the name. That's it, right?
yeah. They talk about there's a scene where they confront he confronts all of them, and is like, well, it's Victor now. Does anyone have a problem with that? And everyone was like, no, it's cool. Like
No.
that's what you want to do, kind of deal.
Yeah, kind of crazy.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that was the thing. But it was. I mean, the effects in that show are always dope. But I gotta say, after watching some of it already, it kind of it's starting to seem repetitive, kind of, because it's always like an apocalyptic deal in the show. It's always like the end of the world, end of the world, end of the world. But in this season, it actually is beginning to be the end of the world. So it's like now it actually makes sense. But I don't know. I don't know. You guys should
That
take a look at it, and
actually
maybe
makes
we'll talk
sense.
about it if it comes down to it.
Yeah.
Um, but the show that I've been wanting to watch and I haven't watched yet is Peaky Blinders.
Oh, I finished it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's only like 6
How's
episodes.
that?
It's pretty short. At first, I wasn't getting into it for some reason, but then later on, I was like, okay, like I'm starting to like this. And
Yeah.
yeah, the ending was unexpected, and then it's just like, huh. It gives you a lot to think about. It's just like, I wonder what's gonna happen. That's all I can say. And I definitely could hear Alexa on the back.
Yeah. We could definitely hear Google back there.
Well, you're all
Okay.
blurry, out of focus.
There it goes.
There you go. If only your ADD could do that.
I am currently halfway through this one, and there is a spider crawling on the wall, and I need to help kill it.
Roxy, go kill the spider.
It's just like that scene in Haunted Mansion. Everybody's got to learn to whack their own spiders.
Oh my god.
Please, it's gonna get away. Oh my god, hold on.
Hold it
It's
in
an
the cup.
emergency. Keep them going.
Keep them going. Mm-mm. The thing about spiders is that you could fucking kill them at any goddamn moment. The thing about spiders is that I even know why Spider-Man is famous. I mean, not famous, but very popular. But it's true. So another thing about spiders is that there's a crazy ass director that wanted a spider robot in every movie that he was encountering or he got from his scripts, and eventually that became Wild Wild West, featuring the manslapper himself, Will Smith, and it was a phenomenon. Nah, it was a fucking weird idea. Fucking humans, not a human spider, but a giant fucking robot spider in the West. Unbelievable. That guy's crazy. You know who that guy's name is? I forgot. But it was very entertaining. Well, not the movie, but just the story of that freaking producer. And I mean, another thing about spiders. No, seriously, I'm actually kind of scared about spiders, especially like black widows or black reclusive, because it's just like, something so tiny could actually like fucking kill you. And they're basically in California. Like they live in like dark reclusive spaces, and it's kind of fucking dangerous. I'm like, it could happen at any given moment. Oh, now there's an idea for a movie where spiders take over the world, take all over the world. But there are also movies like Eight, like Freaks, and there's also movies like Arachnophobia, which is like a horror comedy about spiders terrorizing a freaking town. And I remember I had John Goodman in it, and yeah, it. I feel like it was trying hard to be a comedy and also a horror, but I don't know. I didn't finish that fucking movie. I haven't seen that movie in forever, but some of the only the only thing I remember from that is fucking John Goodman. And another thing about spiders. I'm kidding. I'm enough about spiders. But honestly, I just been pretty excited about San Francisco. I'm gonna be moving out there. We're still gonna be doing the show remotely, like how we're doing it now. Hopefully with better equipment, hopefully with better spirits, and I mean our spirits are not in down or anything like that. I'm just saying it could always be better, and I'm super excited. Um, I'm also doing a little bit of bartending on the side. Like last weekend, I actually bartended for my cousin. They made like a lot of what do they call it? They made paloma, and that's basically tequila with like squirt. But you could add like lime juice or actual grapefruit juice. 'Cause some people prefer it that way, natural flavor. And yeah, I just did that. I just did those cocktails, and yeah, it was pretty fun and stuff. So I'm trying to get the hand of like actually doing cocktails in the real world setting, and hopefully my training will be done by the time I get out there. Just I actually do want to get a job out there as a bartender and stuff. I want to talk to a lot of techies. Not really. I heard they were fucking assholes, but hopefully I could find someone good, and someone like minded. Maybe, I don't know. Not all certain people or certain groups are all the same, and still trying to kill that spider. I can't see it at all. But I mean, there's been a lot of freaking shows out. Like every week, there's like something freaking new. Um, so there was the Obi-Wan show, and then a couple of weeks after that, there was also like Our Boys. No, not Our Boys, The Boys. I still haven't watched that, but I've been meaning to watch it. But it's like, oh, I like how like you just could release like the episodes like all at once, as opposed to like weekly by weekly. But I get that that was how traditional TV does it. But I mean, they have the episodes already done at this point. But I guess it's better for, I would say, like the podcasts that are covering the TV shows, like an episode, so it gives them time to actually, digest and then analyze the episode by episode and stuff. So that's definitely becoming popular and stuff. But I guess that makes sense. And did
Oh
you
my god,
what happened to the spider?
we lost it.
Really? Oh, that sucks.
I came to grab it and it was really dark, and it kind of blended in with the curtain. It was like a dark, like translucent kind of spider.
Oh yeah, you could kill those
And I
easily.
like went to move it, but I couldn't see it. It started crawling up the folds, and then it crawled all the way up, and then it kind of just disappeared. And
You pretty much disappear
I
like
don't
Spider
know,
Man.
but
Wait,
hey, I'm back.
yeah. What I was talking about, do you prefer like TV series seasons to be like coming all at once or bi-weekly? Not bi-weekly,
Okay,
bi-week.
this is a brew debate. I'm gonna sip on this. Hold on. I gotta say, when it comes to shows, I like them to trickle.
What does that
like
mean?
how Boba Fett did it, how Disney Plus is doing it.
Okay.
Why? Because look at Stranger Things model. Stranger Things model is release them all at once, let the people binge watch them, right?
Right.
But what do you get when people do that? It's like, okay, yeah, you create like a sense of urgency about the show, which is cool, because it's like, oh my god, you gotta watch him. But it's like there's only an urgency
Keep a distance.
created.
Yeah.
There's only an urgency created because there's like a chance that it might get spoiled for you that someone else has watched and binged it all before you.
Yeah. That's also an
That's
issue.
why people are rushing to watch it. It's not the fact that it's like, oh yeah, it's a really great show. Don't get me wrong, but it's
Yeah.
like it kind of forces you to watch it all at once because if you don't, the spoilers on social media will get to you first.
Yeah. I think that's
You
a
know?
big part of it. Just social media. I mean, instant gratification. Like if you get that like at once and just right there, like you're just gonna be like not spoiled, like oh like they're ruining like a plot point they're not supposed to know, but like basically be spoiled with like oh everything's given to them and stuff. But I do like the idea that it's like certain shows are like weekly because it gives you time to digest, especially if it's like a dark show and you have to take a breathe and be like, that was tough. I don't know what the fuck I just saw.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, that's how I feel like the first season the first volume of Stranger Things is. It's kind of like that. Kind of leaves you on a cliffhanger, but doesn't. You know,
Kind of does.
but it leaves you with kind of just that deep sigh, that holy shit, like it's about to go down kind of
Yeah,
deal. You know,
definitely.
um,
Definitely gonna come
but
to
I
that.
mean, yeah, it does leave you on a cliff. But the point that I'm trying to make is, I like that model, but listen, that's why ultimately they're making volumes of this show because people spoil all of the like if they released all of volume 1 and volume 2 at the same time, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna fuck shit up. But now it's like they can kind of do whatever they want,
Yeah, now they
which
do.
is a freedom now that I guess streaming platforms offer. But I still like the fact of like week by week, you could kind of follow up with people during the week, like, oh, are you gonna catch this show? Like, blam, on Thursday you have something on Friday to talk about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So I kind of
and
like that
yeah,
fact,
you
and
could.
it kind of lets you digest it piece by piece.
Yeah, and you could totally make like it's easier to do like watch parties, because you're waiting for that last episode. You get a whole group and just make it a watch party and be like, "Hey, we did it.
See,
We're over here."
see, for me, it was like hard to watch the first episode. Once I got through the first episode, then I was like, okay, I'm gonna slowly start watching the second in bits and pieces. By the third one, I just watched the episode all the way through, and then I just picked up momentum, and I was glad I kind of did it that way because I kind of waited and I was waiting for the last ones to come out, but I already had some to watch already before
Yeah,
the last one came out. So it was kind of like, okay, well, I can watch all of this stuff before now watching the last show. Once the finale comes out,
yeah.
you know.
That's kind of what I did with like Peaky Blinder. I slowly got into it, just kind of picked it up. I think it was just like my personal taste. Like I don't know. I just wasn't getting like the groove or like the momentum of the show itself
Yeah.
because it felt different. Like definitely, the season definitely feels different. And then I slowly like, okay, something's going on and things are rolling down. So it's just like, okay, now I'm getting into it. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
been like that.
Yeah, I just love the production value that they put in Peaky Blinders. It's pretty sick, you
Yeah,
know.
I think I think they went all out on this one. I could feel like some of the action pieces or certain pieces were like they went with a little bit of a bigger scope on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely check it out.
I
Definitely.
kind of want to switch gears because we talked about streaming for like a good chunk.
Yeah, agreed.
But if we could just switch gears over to music, I got some stuff to talk about music.
Music.
You got
So
anything?
music. No, I really like music. I keep playing the same albums that I played when in high school, so I don't listen to anything new.
So
Just kidding.
I'm starting to listen to new stuff. I know I've mentioned this show on Golden Craft Cast a couple times. Morning Becomes Eclectic, and I started listening to the new album from Toro y Moi called Mahal, Mahal, and I started hearing. They wouldn't even tell me that it was part of the album, but I would listen to the song and I'm like, dude, this song's really good. What album is this from, or like what movie, like what song is this? And whenever I'd like they'd randomly play a song from the album, I would look it up and I would keep seeing the same album cover, the same album cover, the same album cover. So I was like, all right, I gotta get this album. I gotta listen to it all the way through. And I did. And Jesus, this album is really freaking good. If you ever listen to any of Tori Moss stuff before, it's really dope. Chill, kind of EDM style, but he really changes it up in this album. Kind of goes for a vintage vibe that is more of like a ode to, I want to say, Steely Dan, Steve Miller Band, the Beatles, kind of like the Bee Gees, like just like a more vintage vibe. I'll go get the album right now. I have it right here. I got the special edition. Hold up.
Good shit. You know what? I just came up with something. I lied. I do listen to new music. It's pretty cool. But yeah, that's the shit that you were listening to. Let's look at it. Let's look at it.
So check it out.
Really. San Francisco.
San Francisco on the front, and he's driving this big blue, crazy, tripped out kind of. It's like a Jeep crossed with a convertible, like Bel Air. It's weird.
Yeah.
Super trippy, dope album cover out in San Francisco. Has the old vintage kind of like all the songs are right here, and the players that played in the songs. So he wrote a lot of the songs, and then had people present it. Cool trippy background right here of him crossing the bridge, all fast and stuff.
Oh
And
shit.
I haven't even opened the center actually. So that looks like when the truck might have broke down.
You can barely see it.
There in the middle.
Yeah. You can barely see it. It's like blending into the back. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Use
it's
both
just
your hands.
trippy.
We'll have to see. Actually, take a picture of that. I might put it in the post.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. And we're gonna listen to this when we drive out to San Francisco.
Yay.
So
Yeah.
that'll be good for you.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, really dope imagery, really dope music. If you listen to him, you know what's going on. This album is nothing to sleep on, I'm telling you.
Cool. That was a good share. That was definitely a good share. We'll definitely listen to that in San Francisco.
I'm gonna listen to it in a bit.
Yeah.
That's been my like that's
It's been
my
your little dream.
before I go out. It's my like going out song before I get ready to go out, and then it's also my song when I'm doing like housework, you know. But I listen to the album and I'm just like, dude, this is so dope. I gotta listen to this on hi-fi.
Oh shit.
So I bought it.
Yeah.
I'm treating myself because it's summer's coming up. I need some music to listen to and analyze. And one of the ones that I've been looking forward to is Bad Bad Not Good, number 4. And they have a lot of really good songs that I like on that album. And that one's supposed to be delivered to me tomorrow. So we'll see what's up with that.
That's
That's
cool.
what I got. That's one of my music shares. Many music shares.
That's cool. So, I don't know if you heard me, but I actually lied. I do listen to new music. So I did mention this to you, Manny, but I mean to listeners. So there's these two incredible artists that always team up. Uh, their name is JD Beck and fuck, I forgot the girl's name. I'm sorry.
The girl's name.
Yeah, Domi. Yeah, and I
Okay.
actually saw Domi. Like, if you're a big fan of like Thundercat, have you guys ever
Mhm.
seen like the because he did like a live stream for for Adult Swim, and he was actually playing a couple songs,
Oh yeah,
and the
that's
girl that
right.
was
He
playing
did.
the piano in the back, that's Domi. So that's when I first noticed her, and I think someone in the comment section said like, "Oh, that's Domi. Like, she's a dope ass like, you know, pianist, or the key player." And yeah, I started to check her out, and then she's always teaming up with a drummer named JD Beck, and I don't know how old he is, but he looks pretty young. And I seen a couple of videos where he's like playing like at jazz clubs, and that's the type of music he plays, like sort of like jazz, sort of like
Yeah.
going into like that territory of like what Thundercat will play and
Max
stuff.
Roach.
Yeah, it's just like doing a bad impression of
Yeah.
it, but it's like pretty fucking chill and stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely recommend like just listen to them. I think they came up with like an EP. I forgot what it was called, but they made a music video out of it, which was directed by Anderson Paak, and yeah, it's a pretty funny video and shit. It's like pretty retro looking, and it's pretty cool considering that Anderson Paak directed it, and then he invites pretty much like his closest friends around him, uh, and they all get together, and it's like sort of like this little happy birthday party going on, and it's like pretty chill and pretty like out there, which is yeah,
Yeah.
definitely like watch that and
I
definitely listen to
definitely
them.
want to do another music episode soon.
Yeah,
I think one of the ones that we did last year that I really like doing, and I feel like we're still around, is SoCal music, SoCal bands.
yeah,
Um,
definitely.
I'd like to do another one, another episode of that
I forgot when we
sometime,
did
like
that
another
one.
SoCal punk bands episode.
When did we do that one?
We did SoCal punk or something like that,
With
or
who?
SoCal bands.
With who? Was it with?
That's the one that we did with Dave and Graham in Huntington Beach.
Oh, that episode, the one that shall not be
Yeah,
spoken.
that was a great episode. You
I
should listen to that one. It was
yeah.
wild.
Um, I'm definitely gonna talk about some SoCal bands I didn't really mention in that episode, but I'm definitely gonna do it. So
Yeah, I mean, there's new movement and stuff like that, and I think the shows that are coming out now are really dope.
yeah, definitely
Um, but yeah, dude, definitely more music stuff to come for sure.
more music.
So what else we got, man? I mean, we covered music, we covered shows.
So are we? I guess we were going on that structure. I don't know. I think I was just trying to like freebase it. You're the one that's structuring
Yeah,
it,
I don't know.
which is
I kind of
weird
like the
because I'm
structure. It's a
usually
good
like the
structure.
structure guy, and then it's like, oh, is there a structure? And then it's like, where's the structure? I'm like, I thought you were a freebase guy, man.
I know I'm a free base on a structure.
You're an improviser, and I'm just like, oh, now this roles have
How you feeling
reverse.
on your beer so far?
I like it. I like this
Yeah,
beer.
mine's pretty good. I'm starting to see some bottom lactose.
Oh yeah, really refreshing.
Yeah, big
Definitely.
clumps of lactose at the bottom.
Yep.
Not super big, but they're there.
Yeah,
They're
definitely.
there.
Well, while you were gone, I was talking to the listeners that I was at last weekend. I was at my cousin's and I pretty much cocktailed. But the most interesting part of that is that I found out my cousin's cousin actually worked on the Book of Boba Fett as a costume designer.
What?
Yeah,
Oh shit.
yeah, and I knew this guy for years. He was like that guy in like the family parties, and I never thought he was like involved in production and anything like that.
Huh.
It's fucking crazy.
Holy shit, you gotta get in there, my
Yeah,
friend.
yeah. Yeah, I talked to my cousin. I'm like, hey, I need to talk to Juan. And yeah, that probably it was very surprising, but I'm definitely like, I just want to pick his brain a little bit. He's a pretty cool guy.
Yeah. I mean, now we can and this is a good transition into technology, which is another one of our pillars.
Technology.
I've been using and learning how to use Unreal Engine 5 recently,
Cool.
and it is pretty freaking intense, and it looks fucking amazing. It looks really fucking cool. I'm learning how to make virtual production sets, and it's working, and I'm actually like getting somewhere. So like, I don't know, like this background behind me right now may not be the background you see in a couple weeks. I'm starting to learn to do some cool shit,
Cool.
and maybe I'll implement it into the podcast. We'll see.
Yeah, you're gonna take a screenshot, put it as a custom background.
It's just gonna be a picture of me like this, and then when Sergio says something uninteresting, I'll just leave. It'll be like Pee Wee Herman when he just like has that double, like oh yeah, and he like sneaks out and then puts his body double.
Oh my
It's
god.
like Leaves a Room. You ever seen that?
No.
It was on
Talking.
Pee Wee's Christmas special.
No, I don't watch that. I don't know anything about
Pee
Pee Wee.
Wee's Christmas. Very Merry Christmas.
You know who used
You gotta
double?
watch that shit.
You know what? Who uses body doubles? The
Pee Wee.
KGB. So the KGB actually used sex dolls to pretty much trick out like the American when during the Cold War. And this is true. You could actually look it up. Well, they were like spy on certain on someone in the car, thinking that they were still there, and they replace it with like a sex doll, and they'll leave secretly. And then as soon as they came by the car, they turned out it was a sex doll or some shit. Fucking weird shit. I fucking find.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah, I don't know, but it's funny. So there's your fucking
it's
tech.
I could just imagine like being in the car and be like, "What? That guy's been there for hours. He hasn't moved. He's looking right at us."
And his mouth is like open. When you grew hair?
That's so dumb.
Yeah, it's dumb, but
Oh,
it happens, man.
So what cocktails did you make over there at your cousin's thing?
So she only had like 2 different tequilas, so the only thing to make is like palomas. But
Cool.
yeah, but in a couple weeks, like my sister's baby shower is gonna come up, so there's gonna be way more drinks than that lame ass party. Okay,
All right,
it
so
was actually pretty cool.
let's talk about the menu.
So, at the request of the mother, she wanted all her fucking friends to get fucking lit as fuck, and she wanted me to remake the fucking jungle juice that I made for them last time we all got together. So I'm gonna do that. And she wanted to do another bigger drink, so I suggested like rum punch, and she said okay, do that. But I think I was like deciding like okay, I think we should get like 2 different bigger bottles, and like if anyone wants like something besides that, we could do it. And I ran it through my sister and said like, hey, like I just gave her the list, and we have a bunch of ingredients and stuff. And basically, I added like a tequila and a rum. So I'm basically gonna make some gonna make Paloma, Tequila Sunrise, um, a rum and coke, Cuba Libre, um,
Ooh,
something that I
yeah, I like
invented,
that one.
midnight. Not that I invented this drink, but it was midnight rum, and the one that I invented was called Star Mason, which is basically rum and Sprite with grenadine.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think I'm more excited about like the midnight rum because I actually drank the midnight rum, but they call it the bat.
Huh.
Yeah, it was one of those cocktails that they made at the AMC, and
Yeah.
every once in a while they give like a specialty drink, and it
Oh,
was
they name it
basically
after the
yeah.
screening, right?
There was one called the Bat, and then it was called the Cat for the Batman movie.
Yeah.
And I tried the Bat, and that's basically like rum, coke, and grenadine. I was like, oh,
Huh.
I thought that was something called something different, or I was like, whatever.
It's
So
like a Roy
like
Rogers with rum.
yeah, basically. Um, the one that I invented was called Star Mason because it's basically a Shirley Temple with rum, and Shirley Temple was actually like in a sailor movie called where her main character's name was Star Mason, so
Oh,
that's why I
shit.
call it Star Mason. So it's like, oh, clever.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what would be dope if you make a menu of cocktails like based off of celebrities, like the Brando or something like what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Like shit like
there's
that.
actually a drink called the Marlon Brando. And that's basically um it's basically the Godfather drink. There's a drink
Yeah,
called Godfather, and if you add cream onto it, it's basically just called like the Marlon Brando.
dude, you should do like a Quentin Tarantino, the Quentin.
Uh, like we mentioned before, the Crazy
It's 10
88s.
ingredients because he's only doing 10 movies.
I'm gonna call one called the Crazy 88, and it's just pure red.
I think they do have a drink called the Crazy 88.
Is there? I think they
Yeah.
should add like I think they should add like a Japanese whiskey into it with like some type of like probably like a
You know
slow
what? I
gin.
was just watching a feature on the news about a place in near actually what we were talking about, near the Chavez Ravine,
Yeah,
where a lot of Japanese
distance.
immigrants would actually, that was like the Japanese immigrants would come in. They had their own community there. I forget what it was called, but it was basically like they started a sake company and they started doing sake cocktails.
Yeah.
So they're using sake within their cocktails
Mm.
to like change it up. And he's like, if like, a lot of people only eat or drink sake with sushi, and it's like we're trying to open people's minds and showing people you could drink it and mix it with a lot more different flavors,
Yeah.
which I think is dope.
Yeah, I think that's dope too. That's completely make that into the concept. You're right there, buddy.
Oh my god, I'm getting to the end of the fucking. Oh my god, I'm getting to the end of this ravine, and now it's really hitting me. It's like
It's
the gas
heavy.
is there.
It's heavy,
It's
like the
heavy.
subject matter.
It's getting heavy. Yeah. No, it's that. I think it's like the lactose.
Yeah.
And I also did drink some homemade horchata earlier, so I made it. It's good.
You made
Oh,
horchata?
also, on a video game tip, everyone, trying to switching gears over to video games real quick.
Video
Um,
games.
there is a summer sale on Steam right now. Go get your summer games on a discount.
Don't forget the PS Plus store or whatever they call it. I just bought
PS Plus store doesn't have a sale
Yes,
right
they
now.
do.
It's Steam. Steam right now has a sale,
They have a sale
and
through
I
June
think Overwatch
21st.
is coming
Oh
out
wait, so very
soon.
fast. Wait, what?
I'm ready for it.
Overwatch 2?
It's happening.
It's happening
Overwatch 2 is happening.
next
Yes,
year.
they've announced it.
They announced Final Fantasy Part 2. That's coming till next year. We're like, at least we know it's happening.
So I'm hoping to get Overwatch 2 as a disc on my PS5 when I get one. Because I want a PS5.
We all want PS5s. Everyone wants a
My buddy
PS5.
just got one. Shout out to Rashad.
Rashad
Just
finally
got
got
a
one?
PS5. We all pitched in and got him one.
Oh, that's so nice. That's nice how you guys
You
pitch
know?
in with things.
I know, it's really nice.
Yeah.
I don't know any other friend group that does that, but it's like we got each other's backs, you know?
That's friend. I wish I had friends like that. Okay. Yeah. Let
So
me just
I
take
am
some time.
on the last increment of editing the 360 video of Rise of the Resistance ride.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm almost done with it. It's basically you have to keyframe all the angles that you're looking at. So like if you want a view where it's like you're
Ooh.
sitting in the chair and you're like walking through the line, it's like if you walk through the line and the line turns, you have to like change the perspective that you're looking that way.
Yeah.
Else it doesn't make sense, you know?
Oh, so you're changing the perspective while
You
we're
have
still in the
to edit,
centerpiece?
you have to keyframe the perspectives of the 360 video.
Really? That sounds tiresome.
Yeah.
I would never want to do that.
No, it's tiresome, but I want to see how it comes out. If
Mm.
it comes out dope, it'll be like, okay, this is dope. I'm gonna keep
Okay.
doing this. But it all depends on what kind of thing you're doing. Like, I mean, on a roller coaster on a ride, yeah, it's a bitch because you're going everywhere,
Yeah.
right? But on, let's say, like a hike, you're kind of just going in one direction, and you can kind of see stuff like that. Or if it's on a car, you just kind of keyframe it in one direction and maybe move the keyframe to like big points and stuff like that, whatever you want
Oh,
to see.
okay.
In Unreal, there's actually ways that you could do cinema inside of Unreal, so you could animate and like do the video cameras and stuff like that.
You could put the virtual camera on there. Oh.
Yeah, you could put a virtual camera rig inside of it and just be like, okay, I want to move the camera down this way, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
You know?
So I follow a YouTube channel that actually uses Unreal Engine to recreate Ocarina of Time. And sometimes they make like cinematic little shorts and shit, but it's pretty cool, I guess. But eventually they just do some random shit. I feel like they're just like the Patreon's just like saying like, oh, you should do this, do that, and getting a little bit chaotic. But it's pretty cool to actually do something like in a sandbox setting to recreate some of your favorite things, like from your childhood, or like just things in general that you like and stuff. But I mean, I guess you're doing it just for
Yeah.
the craft of it, really.
Well, honestly, what I started creating was I had a really vivid dream once, and I know I've told you this before, but it was like basically like a scene of like it was like a bath. It was a room where it was like a bathtub. It was like a bathroom, but literally just a bath in the room. And there was
The
like
hell?
this like devil goddess like walking up these marble like almost lava obsidian steps. Like it was really smooth, like almost black glass, and pillars around it with chains and lights coming out with fire, and within the pillars themselves there was skulls and different like creepy shit like bones and stuff like that within it.
Yeah.
And then inside the bathtub, like the bathtub spout was a goat's head, and then like a goat's skull, and then the like blood was coming out of its mouth into the bathtub. It was like really horrific and crazy and really weird. But I just thought in my head, all the textures and the very like the subtleties of everything just were very almost like I had a photographic memory of this dream. That's how vivid it was. So now I'm using Unreal Engine to basically like kind of build out what I
Recreate that.
saw. So I'm creating right now. I just learned to import different models from different websites. So now I'm getting them in there, but it's like you can literally build out whatever you want. If you can think about it, you can build it out.
Yeah.
You know?
Often dreams are like the best inspirations. There was actually a dream that I had that I was thinking like maybe it should be a movie. Where basically it was like this resort out in like in the forest,
Mhm.
and basically these things were coming out of the fucking like there was like this mountain like overhead of like the whole resort, and there was just like this flock of things cause coming out and shit, and I'm just like, what is that? And it just looked weird, and we thought it was like
It was a
birds,
murder.
or I thought it was like bats, or I thought it was like fucking murder, a bunch of ravens. But no, they were like creepy bird-like things. And then they're like pterodactyls or like some shit like that.
What the
Yeah. And I was just like, holy fuck, that's like, oh my god, that's just scary. And I'm thinking like, what if there were like animals? Like I was thinking of a like a freaking Stephen King novel. You know what I mean? And I also thought about like, mm-mm. And I was just thinking about like a storyline that that will make sense, and it was also very Stephen King, where it has like a basically a dad, and then he has a son, and his son is dealing with like drug problems, and he's using like this resort as like a type of rehab. And basically the whole arc is not on like the dad character, but the guy that's recovering from like drugs and has to be brave and has to like save the people or whatever to go to the mountain
Yeah.
and save the whole resort or whatever, or some members of his family or whatnot. And
Yeah.
not everything's in detail, but it was just like, oh, it's a concept. I don't know what to do with it. You can have it, internet.
Yeah. I mean, I think Unreal's a great way to just make a set and just kind of like get the idea of what it would look like out there. Kind of just go from there. But I know there's a lot of potential in that program, how good it looks in the vast library of different stuff that you get, you know. But yeah, dude, definitely chill. You got any sip on this?
Sip on this. You want to excuse yourself while I say this?
No.
Really? You really want to do this? All right. So I sip on this. I don't know. I was gonna say something. I was basically just gonna say the opposite.
This whole episode was kind of a sip on this.
Yeah, like I think this whole thing was just like us just recommending stuff and
Yeah.
just like, okay, well, what did you
Well, one of the
pick up
things I want to recommend, I guess, last thing would be like the
for
video
tidbits?
game that I've been playing recently. Won a bunch of awards. It Takes Two. It's a co-op game, local multiplayer.
I heard.
If one
I see
person
you
buys the
play it.
game and the other person downloads it, you could actually play online and stuff. So it's pretty chill.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard that's very popular game.
Also made with Unreal.
I guess. Oh, you're gonna just keep
Yeah,
bragging on this?
yeah, it's good. I'm hyped right now on it.
You're
It's
hyped.
dope.
Yeah, you look a
Yeah.
little too hyped. So yeah. All right. I guess this is it, man. This has
All
been a
right,
good
hit
one.
the button. All right, you know where to catch us at.
And where the catch is at. We're here.
Urban Crabcast, baby. On Instagram, recommend us some beers, some topics. You can catch us on Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts, even on radio.
Yep. We're on live video on Spotify. So check us out on Spotify. And we do have some questions you could participate in that. So look out for that. We've been doing them for a couple episodes now. So look out on that. So this is Golden Craft Cast. I'm Sergio. That's Manny. And we're both
Peace
out.
to Greece.